I'm still muted. Okay. What's going on, everybody? FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays, a quick live stream to help you get closer to accomplishing your dreams, man. I'm your host, Joe Spider, and I do represent the fresh. Listen, my apologies because I'm running a little bit behind. Yeah, it's been crazy trying to get the setup and everything going. Yeah, it's been wild. So I appreciate y'all for your patience, for anybody that's paying attention. Thank you for checking us out, whether you're watching on Instagram Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, however you're paying attention, man. I appreciate you for tuning in. Got a great episode for y'all today, per usual. We got some amazing folks in the chat, so I appreciate each and every one of y'all. But today's going to be a quick show, but it's going to be a dope show. Shout out to Focus Mindset Co. for leaving a comment. Definitely appreciate you. But I want to bring up a person that's familiar with the show. Y'all got to let me know if y'all can hear the audio for him. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brother Devon. What's going on, big dog?
We back in the
house. Yeah.
And actually, this is my first time being in the flesh.
This
is my first time being at the home studio.
No doubt. I
gotta rewind. I told you about this when I saw you at the conference, but I gotta issue a formal apology.
Ooh.
To my man Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh. Talk about it.
What happened was I watched Super Bowl. I was at grandma's house. There was a lot of people around. There was a lot of food around. The speaker system wasn't the best. So,
Is your mic turned on? Let me make sure that thing's turned.
Let me see.
There you go. Now, there we go. Okay.
Oh, y'all hear me now? I got to do the apology again, K-Dot?
No, yeah. So try it again. Right.
So, last episode, we talked about rating the Super Bowl, right? I'll go back to my ratings. But I know I was a little hard on Kendrick, but to my default, or to my acknowledgement, the experience that I had with the Super Bowl was at my grandma's. Speakers weren't the best. A lot of people around. I didn't get a chance to really lock in to the performance. I rewatched it, right? Because Josiah was like, no, it was a 10 out of 10, bro. It was good. So I rewatched it. Me and the Queen, at home, our speaker system, full attention to the screen. And yeah, it was fine, right?
Yes.
I think I gave it maybe a 7. I'll recant that. Right? I'm gonna take that back. I still wouldn't go as far as a 10, but I would give it a solid 9, especially on the replay value.
Okay.
You can go back to that over and over again. I still think that there could have been, like, if I'm an audience member in the stadium, that performance wasn't for them.
Right. Facts.
It wasn't for them at all. It was definitely for the people watching at home, possibly for the people in LA, or for everyone else who's a revolutionary in their own right. It was for that audience, for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that on the Internet of Things that live out there forever. If you watch the other episodes, make sure you also so you get the full
for clarification.
Yes.
Honestly, I've been doing so many lives that I don't even trip if I say something, unless somebody like call it out and be like, hey, remember you said that. I'll be, oh shoot, my bad. But I don't even be considering it, because it's just like, bro, we always doing it forward. We're always doing it moving. So like, especially, I don't know if people understand how hard it is to record live.
Yeah, it's an art form.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like when you're doing I do Wise Word Wednesdays every week, right? The short form, because this is also Wise Word Wednesday. But if I say the wrong thing, I could just edit it out. You know what I'm saying? But when you record live, like, it's right there on your, you know what I mean? And so I don't think people understand how hard that is. So that's why, like, because we do it so often, like you with your podcast, me with mine, it's like, I don't even be tripping. Like, if I say something, and I'll be like, it is what it is. But with the Super Bowl, it's the Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl. So I get why it's like, yeah, okay, you want to address that. So yeah. I appreciate that.
I also think it's important as people that create content, it's okay to make a mistake, acknowledge a mistake. Not that this was a huge mistake, right? It's not a huge deal. There's much more serious messages that are going out there on Instagram, on StreamYard, podcast, all that stuff, minus the Kendrick Lamar stuff. But I still think it's a good precedent. Like, if you say something that you feel like is incorrect, even in retrospect, to go back and address it. Like, don't just let that sit out there. Like, there's people and I don't want to name names, but there's people who have clearly, I think, made a misstep. Their misstep was called out by people on media. They'll address it, but they don't apologize. They don't say they're wrong. They just like, oh, that's a part of entertainment. That's a part of comedy. That's a part of this. But I do think you can say something wrong.
Yeah.
And it's okay to recant.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I actually don't like people who, if you get called out for saying something wrong, you don't just be like, oh, shoot, my bad. It's just that quick. Like, oh man, my fault. I ain't even mean it like that. Or I misspoke. Like, I think people tend to have this like expectation, like because I'm who I am, or because I have the status, like I have to be perfect.
Right.
And what I said is what I said, and I'm gonna stand on it. Yeah, but if you standing on the fact that you said 2 + 2 is 12, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's not a good look, brother. It's not a good look. So I appreciate that, no doubt. So in fact, which is I feel like that's a crazy transition into the topic today. Which is red flags. Like we talking about, some red flags to see when you're meeting. And the purpose of me kind of doing this, well, really, I got two reasons why I came up with the subject. Okay. One is because I feel like there's a lot of entrepreneurship talk going on the internet right now. Some of it is super, super dope. Some of it not so much. And I think that both of us in our entrepreneurial journey have made mistakes.
For sure.
Made mistakes.
Awesome.
Right. And so I think like when we know that there are things that are out there that people should be cautious of, I think it's important to, let people know. Right. So and if you can avoid, and that was kind of the purpose of Wise Word Wednesdays as a whole. It's like, if you can avoid the mistakes that I made, then great, right? But if you happen to still make it, cool. At least you can't say you went in blinded. Like, you went in there knowing that this was an opportunity to be your downfall. But another reason I said I wanted to bring up the topic was because I know Dochi had recently talked about her red flag.
I missed this.
Okay. So Dochi had a red flag, basically. Oh, by the way, that's for anybody that's watching. That's my dog Kobe. We in the building live, by the way. So my dog Kobe is making his appearance, first time ever online. So shout out to Kobe. World premiere for sure. But Dochi basically said like her red flag. She was doing an interview on Hot Ones, and she was like, her red flag was like, straight men.
That's a red flag.
It's a red flag. Which is crazy, because it's like, how is somebody being who they are naturally a red flag to somebody else? Like, that's crazy. That's like me saying red flags are, I don't know, black people.
Right.
Like, it's who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you don't choose to be straight, just like you don't choose to be gay. Like, you are straight or you are gay. Like, so to say like a straight man is a red flag, it's like saying like short people are red flags, tall people are red flags, like people with black hair, people without hair, people with hair. I don't know. So that was just.
I'm wondering the context behind that. I feel like there's maybe another layer behind that. And I don't know Dochi, but I feel like there's a spectrum to everything, right? So I think people that claim that they're on a far side of the spectrum, knowing that there's an in between for every single identity, right? Every single, I guess, polarity that there can be, there's always an in between. So I feel like for her to say straight men are a red flag, I think it's the possible. I know this word bit sprayed out all the time. Toxic masculine. Like the men that are just like hyper. No, man, that's no homo. That's gay. Oh, like, it's like, bro, come on. Like, some people do that to me where I'll say something, they're like, you should have said no homo. It's like, sir, I'm married. I'm 32 years
I'm
old.
comfortable where I'm at.
The pause, like, bro.
Every 5 seconds you gotta pause.
Yeah, you say pause after everything. I can see that perspective. But if she's just saying just straight men entirely, it's like, all right, come on.
Yeah,
give us a chance.
I also think it comes from a place of pain, right? Like somebody somewhere harmed you, and I think that you're judging other people based on that pain. what I'm saying? So I said all that to say the idea of red flags started just coming up. Like, what's a red flag? I was like, oh, what is a red flag in regards to entrepreneurship? So for me, one of the things that I see as a red flag in regards to just being an entrepreneur are people who are talking about it but not living it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we see that a lot, especially on social media. Like there was a wave, and I'm not going to call out any type of specific wave, but there was a wave of people, publicizing a certain kind of opportunity, whether it be real estate, whether it be marketing, whether it be like just everything. And it was just like, just do this and do that, and then boom, you're gonna be rich. And it's like
tomorrow.
You feel me? So yeah, I that was one of the things I feel. But what's a red flag to you when you're thinking about like this field of entrepreneurship? What do you see as a red flag?
So I can go through maybe just a couple L's that I took, and I think based on these stories, we can reveal the red flag will reveal themselves, right? So one example was I had this idea for an event, right? And this was an idea that I wanted to do by myself. It was going to be a huge event, well, huge in my head, but mid-sized event that would highlight Black game creators. That was the whole idea. I then came across a group of pretty dope Black game makers, right? And I was like, oh, dope. Like I already had this idea, I already wrote out the proposal, and then now I brought it to this group of people to basically collaborate. Now we had somebody that was like, oh, I love this idea. I'm gonna handle registration. I was like, cool. I don't want any registration. Yeah, you got it. And he was like, all right. And I'm also gonna handle the marketing. And I was like, you want to do registration and marketing? That's a bit much, but I mean,
if you say you got it, then
you got the capacity, you got the team, cool, you got it, bro. And then he was like, actually, yeah, and I want to do this. It just kept adding up, and then at some point, he was like, yeah, actually, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put my logo on this event, and we'll make you,
so he wants the event,
and he literally took the entire event, like the week before it was supposed to go live. It was just like, this is what we're doing, this is the logo, it's going to be sponsored by us, woo woo. And I was like, this was literally my event. I came to you with the proposal, came to you with the idea. So the red flag there was people being a little overly eager to help you sometimes for free. Right? Because there might not be a cost on that front end, but there might be a cost on that back end that you're not aware of. So being a little bit more cautious about how you share your IP, how you share your ideas, share your information, especially if there's no agreement signed with people who say that they can help you for free and don't want anything in return. I think that's a huge red flag for me now these days.
Dang, I just forgot what I was going to ask.
I got another story.
So what that's what I wanted to ask. For those who don't know, what is IP?
IP, intellectual property, right? So there's patents. That's how you put something together, right? This microphone has a patent. The TV has a patent. This microphone stand probably has a patent, how you put things together. There's trademark. That's going to be your name, image, and likeness. So Nike logo, trademark. Black Wall Street, the board game, trademark. Any logos or images that you see. Hey, that's the game. Love the love.
No doubt.
That's going to be a trademark. And then copyright gives you the right to copy anything digitally or physically. So books, movies, podcasts, music, all those would be copyrighted. So these three, and trade secrets is number 4. But those are 3 main intellectual property categories.
Got you. Okay. For those that don't know. So like, what is a way to kind of avoid some of those spaces where folks are giving too much too soon? Like how would you avoid that, or how do you not run yourself into that situation?
Yeah, well, first off, y'all can't see this, but I gotta give my man some love. The way that he is cradling this beautiful dog and showing him so much love. Because I think we think about Black men just being so strong, ferocious, sometimes feared, but we care too. We love to. We can be nurturing too. So I'd love to see that.
No doubt.
But what are some things you can do? So number one, I think something that I should have done in that specific instance was there should have been a agreement. And there should have been a document that I created that said this event is the property of Play Black Wall Street. I should have trademarked the name of the event. And then every person that I'm engaging with as a collaborator should have signed the document and says, yes, we agree that none of this is owned by us, and we will continue to collaborate with Play Black Wall Street in these capacities. Sign it, date it, boom. So I think that's definitely going to be a practice moving forward for my large in-person events, which we got a lot of more dope stuff. And that's the thing about, I think, the people that take advantage in the short run is this could have been a dope 60, 70-year partnership. Right. Instead, you got one event and haven't done anything since. So I think being able to write out the contract, write out the agreement allows both parties to build a more lasting relationship.
Yeah, I think that's definitely important because to recognize that like that individual may have taken a moment, but it didn't take the momentum.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's super important because sometimes people they feel like this is the lane, and they start it and then somebody steals their idea and they're like, you know what, I'm heartbroken, I'm crushed. But it's like the fact that you were able to come up with that idea means you have the capacity to come up with more. Now, it might not be equivalent to that. It might even be around that same arena, but it means that you have the capacity and the drive. So I think it's always important. Like just because somebody took a moment from you, it doesn't mean that they took all your momentum. Doesn't mean they took all your ideas or possibilities of your ideas. So just keep that in mind. So.
Oh, for sure. And there's also, so there's the idea and then there's the execution of the idea, right? So you can have identical ideas, right? 10 people can have the same exact idea, but based on their personality, based on their skill set, based on the resources they have access to, based on their imagination, the idea will come and manifest into the world differently. So again, he, manifested his idea or my idea the way that he thought he wanted to do it. But now I still have the idea. I can come up with a different name for it, trademark that, and then manifest it in a different direction. So definitely to anybody whose your idea has
stolen, or just sometimes the universe gives the same download to 5 people at the same time, right? There's billions of people. Ideas are out here just floating in the ether, and we just happen to download them. And sometimes you might get a simultaneous download. That doesn't mean that you can't still execute it your way, for sure.
Let me ask those for anybody that's watching. We got some folks on the YouTube live and some folks on the IG. Like, have you ever had your idea stolen? Like, what did that feel like? Put that in the chat if you can, if you feel like, respond. I just want to know. Have you ever had that idea stolen? On another note, was that the worst red flag you ever experienced in entrepreneurship? Because one of the worst that I can say that I've seen is like ones that cost a lot of people a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Talk to me about that.
In a sense of, you have people that like push this agenda of do this and right. And like, after it sounds good at the moment or in time, like, for example, let's talk like I just watched someone on TikTok earlier today. It was like talking about like, it was a video of somebody who was documenting his Forex experience. Right. And it's like, I don't know if you remember, but like pre-pandemic, like Forex was popping.
That was the hustle, for
like
sure.
It was popping. Like people were having meetings. I even went to a couple of them. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get me some change. Like, what you mean, boy? Bro said he was working full time and then made 80 bands.
Yeah, last week.
Time. Like,
one day, one trade.
Sign me up. You know what I mean? So, and I just saw like the way that people were gravitating to it, and it was like I wanted to be a part. But when I went to the meetings, I was like,
something wasn't clicking.
And I know that like everybody has their own path, right? Like just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for anybody. But the red flag that I would say is hold on, we got a question. It says, how do we go from the idea to the business plan to the IP, LLC, trademark, copyright, etc.?
Oh, you want the full download.
Woo! Man, Big Kobe, come here. I need you to leave him alone for a second.
Hey, thank you, Kobe. I appreciate the love, though.
Yeah, leave him alone. That was okay. So we'll get into that. But I think the part that was such a red flag for me was the fact that like these people don't really see the long-term consequences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of gassing so many people up.
Yeah, or they don't care.
And I'm not even just using Forex, right? Because that's just one example, right? Like, I don't like to talk crap on Black men, but I will say that there was recently a Black man who is a part of a movement that was recently called out. Kobe. No.
It wasn't Kobe, by the way.
It wasn't Kobe.
No. R.I.P.
That was called out for being what he has criticized publicly, right? So I wonder if people are really paying attention to, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't. Like, there's one thing that's coming to my head, but I don't know if it's the same conversation.
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly not. I don't know. I'm just saying. People who are preaching this ideology of what greatness is supposed to be, look like, act like, walk like, talk like, what it's supposed to, but they're not living it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And so when you see that, it's like, bro, you're leading people astray. And this is kind of, I think, what a lot of Black men have in regards to like the church, right?
Yep.
The reason it's mostly Black women in the church as opposed to Black men is because we like, bro, I'm not about to listen to you tell me to be something that's impossible, that you not being.
Right.
And then if I mess up, you want to call me out in front of the whole church, but what about you? Right. And when you do mess up, like you said, you don't even say my bad. It's just like, well, I'm the leader, right?
Sweep it under the rug.
Sweep it under the rug. So, you know what I'm saying? Somebody say Kobe, damn, man. Kobe, all in the mix. Kobe, come on, man, sit down.
Look, Kobe needs his own microphone.
Right. He going crazy right now. So, you know, I think it's a red flag when people are like so condemning. So this is the only way, but you're not doing it either.
Agreed to that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. When someone says this is the only way, I almost automatically stop listening.
Really?
Yeah, because there's only way.
Yeah.
There's only. Come on now. There's so many different ways to do everything. There's no way. There's only one way. And if that's what they truly believe, that means that they're closed-minded and they're not going to hear what you have to say, what you're going to bring to the table either. Right. So that, and this is going to my other red flag, not a personal story, but I hear this a lot. And if this is you, I'm sorry. This is not a direct attack on you, but a red flag for me is the aspiring entrepreneurs that I see, that I connect with, that haven't produced anything, but they want to partner with me to produce something.
Ooh, talk about it.
Right.
Talk about it.
And again, I've been in that seat. So I'm not criticizing y'all, but as a person who now has a business and has ideas that I want to fulfill, whenever I'm talking to entrepreneurs and they're like, yeah, I got this idea. I want to do this. All I need. Here we go.
Here's the app.
Here we go. All I need is, I need funding, or I need your mentorship, or I need X, Y, and Z. And there's been times in my younger years where I was like, oh, for sure. You need my mentorship? Let's do weekly calls. Yeah, I can do mentorship, right? That's free. That's just time. We can do calls. We can do Zooms. I can give you the steps. And I would spend months pouring into people. And then they'll be like, all right, well, never mind. It's a lot of work. I don't want to do what? I thought this was your dream, my guy. What? So I think that's a red flag for me, is like, if you have an abundance of ideas, but a lack of discipline and work ethic, right? Because that's the gap. That's the gap between taking an idea and actually manifesting it. It's the work ethic. It's the sitting down. It's the not getting frustrated when your technology doesn't work and fighting through and doing the podcast anyway. Like, it's that type of stuff. That's the difference between someone who's going to start their podcast and someone who has a podcast idea.
Yeah, man. That is 100% accurate, bro. I think a lot of people, they see the end results of your work, of your labor, and then they're like, oh, I want that. And so they'll try to partner with you, right?
Right.
And then you'll be like, cool. And then they start seeing the work and they like, whew. Like, you do this all the time. It's
All the
like,
time.
yeah, bro. It's like just because you see like they'll see you do a workshop for 150 students.
Mhm.
They're like, oh man, all they see is a clip of it on Instagram. Oh man, I want to do a workshop. I want to get paid to talk to 150 students.
Yep.
But it's like, bro, you have years of experience.
Yes.
And there were times where you only talked to 2 students.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That might still happen today.
But they don't see that.
Right.
All they see is you talk to 150. So they think every time you've ever talked to students, it's been 150. And they think that like people just pay you just because. And it's like, no. There's a whole curriculum that I had to design.
Talk to them
In the first place, just to even get to the point where I'm able to get in front of somebody to listen. And then I had to do that multiple times and then edit the curriculum to make sure that it met the needs of the people that I'm actually talking to.
Yep.
Right. And then do that over time. And then eventually somebody was able to get impressed with it. And they was like, oh, I want to allow you to do this over here too.
Right.
But all they see is you talk to 150 students.
Right. They also don't see the 100 emails or the 100 phone calls, text messages,
cold calls.
Right. Yeah. All the no's you got just to get that one speaking engagement for 150. Right. It's definitely a lot that goes into it. But for the people that like, if this is like, oh, are they talking about me?
No.
Again, it's not you. Right. This is all love. But oh, my bad. But make sure you are that person that's willing to take action, right? So if you're going to these fairs, you're connecting with people, you're receiving mentorship from people. Let's take action on the wisdom that you're able to get, and just small steps, right? MVP is what I try to get to for every idea. Minimum viable product. So you have this idea. How can you actually make that idea real with the resources, with the education, with the money that you have access to today? Get it out there, make the MVP. And then once you have that MVP, keep building from there. But at least get it to that manifestation step.
No doubt, man. So we do have a couple of questions. You know what I mean, from some folks in the chat. Man, shout out to Spot, man. Spot be always showing love.
Poppin'.
You know what I mean, one of the OGs that show mad love. I think he commented like on every single wise word that I post on the YouTube. I mean on the Facebook. So shout out to you, Spot. Real quick. So he's got 2 questions. One, how do we go from idea to business plan to IP to LLC to trademark to copyright, etc.? And the other question is there a benefit to having a corporate name and having all your businesses under that umbrella? For example, his company name is SoftWrite, and he has SoftWrite Tacos, SoftWrite Tires, SoftWrite Sports Bar, etc. So let's start with the latter, because I feel like that one's a little bit easier to answer before we go into the first one. So like,
agreed.
If you have a corporate, right, a corporation, right, and then you have all these different businesses, entities that fall within that one corporation or whatnot, like from your experience, because I don't have any experience with that. Like I do have a business and things like that, but I don't have that kind of level of experience in regards to expanding, right? So but I know you have a little bit of more than me, so that you can speak to it a little bit. But what do you see as the benefits for that?
So first off, I got to put my YouTube disclaimer out there. This is not professional advice, and make sure you talk to a lawyer.
Right.
But from my experience, this is the very specific thing that I experienced, to where my advice is coming from, is insurance and liability. So we have Play Black Wall Street. Play Black Wall Street manufactures, or used to manufacture, board games, and it also provides educational services, right? So that's 2 arms. But when we tried to get insurance, the insurance company was saying, hey, because you're doing toys and games, we can't insure you for education services, because those are 2 different risk levels and different liabilities. So we had to create a separate LLC, a separate business under a different brand, that now does the manufacturing of our board games, and then our other company does the educational services. Separate insurances. So for you have a taco company, right? Food. You have a tire, automotive. You might have a transportation company. You might have a software company. These are very different verticals that are most likely going to need different insurance coverages. So you're most likely going to need to separate them into different LLCs. That's step 1. Just because you separate them into different LLCs, that does not mean that a holding company can't have ownership in all of the LLCs as the umbrella. All right. So that's my guidance to you. I would advise, especially if you're in different verticals, to have different LLCs so that you can have different insurance companies and different insurance policies that protect you in each industry.
Dope game right there. And so the last question is, how do you go from, the idea to the business plan to the IP to the LLC trademark copyright? Like, which one do you start with? And then, like, how do you get all the way down that path?
So you can go a lot of different ways, right? Again, I told you, I don't like when people say this is the only way. Listen, there's tons of different ways to do it. I'll tell you probably about 2 different paths that I would go. The standard path, the business school path, is creating a business model canvas. Right. So you can literally search up business model canvas. There's templates out there, and this will ask you who's your audience, what's your value proposition, what are your different sales channels, what are your media channels, what is the pain point that you're solving, and it will basically put your entire business on a 1-pager for you to be able to make decisions off of. From there, you can determine what audience you're going to target. From there, you can determine possibly different brand names. You can determine different hashtags you should be going for. Business model canvas. I'm a visual person, so that's a really good tool. Second thing is I got to do a self plug. Launchitcommunity.com. Launchitcommunity.com. I literally wrote a book going through 7 steps on how to start your business, and the very last chapter will walk you through intellectual property, digital real estate, copywriting, all of that. So if you go to Launch It Community, you can find the book right there, a link to Amazon or a link to our personal website. Tap in.
No doubt, man. Launchitcommunity.com.
Yes.
Got it up there for y'all. Check it out. I know this is a super quick episode. But I wanted to know, what's a red flag that you want people to just be cautious of in general? It could be in business, it could be in finance, it could be in entrepreneurship, it could be in, I don't know, anything. What do you see as a red flag you want people to just kind of be cautious of as they move forward in life?
It just came to my head.
What?
The biggest red flag, I think, is friends and family that try to stop you from doing the idea. Right. They may say, oh man, just stay comfortable in that 9-to-5 job. Don't do that. Don't fire your boss. Just stay there and be comfortable. Or no one's ever started a business before in your family. Don't do it. Or I don't know. That's not a good idea. Someone already did that. That's too simple. Those are red flags for people that might not need to know about your dreams. Right? Because I think those types of comments are what keep people not fulfilling their full dreams and actually doing the stuff that's in their head, right? And that's what's really coming to my mind. The red flags are people that are trying to hold you down, that crabs in the bucket syndrome. They don't want to see you fly. They don't want to see you 100% leave them behind, so they keep you on their level. And I think it's okay to elevate yourself. And as one of my mentors, Fluker, says, as you climb up the ladder, reach back and pull people with you, right? As you can create that $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion company, you now can employ friends, family, and other people in your life that you care about. So that's going to be a big red flag for me. People that when you share your dream with them, they automatically shut it down and don't support it.
I definitely agree with that 100%. Yeah, sometimes it's best to hold on to that dream until it's already in action. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or until you starting to already see, because sometimes, you plant some seeds, some people going to try to discourage you from watering it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
What you thinking?
I'm trying to figure out a red flag that I ain't already talked about today, because that's really just been on my mind lately. It's just like people following the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say a red flag that I would just want people to just be careful. Just people who think that they have the only opportunity or the only option or the only, like you said earlier, like recognizing that there's multiple. I say this all the time, even when I'm giving like my presentations for work. I even tell people, I'll be like, look, there's multiple ways to get to LA.
Mm-hmm.
You can drive, you can fly, you can catch a cab, you can catch a train, you can catch a bus, you can walk, you can ride a horse.
Walk.
It's gonna take you some time, but you'll get there. You feel me? To get there. Listen, I went to Vegas one time, bro. I went to Vegas.
Don't tell me you walked to Vegas.
Bro, no, hell no.
Okay, I was like, what are you on?
Saying, so I was there for like a weekend, right? And I literally had walked over 30 miles. Over 30 miles. And I was only there for like 3 days.
Yeah, that's what you walked the marathon.
I was walking like crazy, but that's what I'm saying. It's like there's plenty of ways to get to a destination.
For sure.
So when people is talking about this is the only way, this is the only here, you gotta follow. No, you don't. No, you don't. And I would challenge people. I think that's what's also wrong with our society is that we get so like self-centered. We get so you must do this. Otherwise, everything else is a failure. And it's like, bro, chill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we need to be in unison that there are a plethora of opportunities and ways to get to success.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I feel like I talked about that a little bit in your when you talked to me over at the conference this past weekend. I feel like
there's different ways to get to success.
No, I just feel like I talked about us having like being on the same page, coming together. You know what I'm saying? I think that's gonna come out. But it's just crazy. It's like we need to recognize, bro, appreciate other people. And I feel like right now, what we're seeing, and this has nothing to do with just entrepreneurship, this is in general. What we're seeing is people are closing lanes, closing doors, and saying, like, you know, shut this out. If you don't meet this criteria, you're shut out. And it's like, that's a supporter you potentially shut out.
Right.
That's a partnership you potentially shut out. That's a business plan, an idea that you potentially shut out. You know what I'm saying?
Don't burn bridges.
You feel me?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think we need to all be on one accord and recognizing, like, hey, bro, there's opportunity out here and there's enough for everybody. We ain't got to be no crabs in the barrel.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Any final words you want to leave the people with?
I know we like books. So I got 2 books that are coming to my head for these folks. Number 1 is Contagious. Okay. And I'm forgetting the author, but it's the only Contagious out there. And it talks about how good ideas actually take off and how you can make them more viral. Right. So you have a fire idea. I know you do. It's fire. It's $1 billion idea. You just need to know, how do you market it and how do you promote it to more people so that they know it's fire. And Contagious is the book that will help you do that. Nipsey Hussle read that book. Nipsey Hussle read that book. He learned about the $100 Philly cheesesteaks that a restaurant was selling. And he was like, okay, that's all I need. It was like in chapter 1 or 2 of the book. He closed the book, and that's how he started doing the $100 mixtapes out the trunk of his car. All right. Of course, prolific Nipsey. We know what happened after that. Another book is by Don Miller, and it's how to start your small business, or how to build your small business. It's either start or build, one of those two. But that book we read during our Play Black Wall Street like leadership retreat. It changed how we approached our mission statement, changed how we approached how we measure success in the company. And it's just a real practical book to read if you're trying to start your small business. And small business is any business below $5 million a year.
Right. So all y'all got a small business. I'm telling you, bro. I did the numbers. I did the research. All y'all got a small business.
I got the numbers.
I got the numbers, bro. It's literally like 1.7 million small Black businesses. So not everybody not Black, but all Black folks, all y'all got small business. Like only like 200,000 of them make more than $50,000 a year.
Dang.
So all y'all, big dog, big dog.
Yeah. Our research team just told us that only 2.7% of Black-owned businesses employ people. We out here. We out here. Play Black
Wall Street. The board game. I just want to say, man, I appreciate you taking time. Y'all don't know this, but bro just got off of work. He's in town for work. Just got off work. Smash right over here, you know what I'm saying?
Easy.
Pay for his own lift to get over here.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? He was watching me scramble. You feel me? For like 25 minutes trying to get my tech working. It didn't work the way it was supposed to, but at the end of the day, we here. Man. So I just want to say I appreciate you what I'm saying, for taking the opportunity. Dealing with my dog, Kobe, that's just like running around here trying to make everybody, you know what I'm saying, excited to see him, but we're not here for you. So I just genuinely appreciate that. But we've been trying to do the in-person show for a minute.
We got it.
I think in December I got sick, so I couldn't do it. But I'm glad we finally got a chance to make this happen. So I appreciate you, bro.
Easy call. And I'm still looking forward to you coming down for Black Future Month.
Oh yeah, I'm out
this June.
Yeah,
it's gonna be popping. We in Riverside. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna make sure FYB's in the building.
Absolutely, we making it happen, man. So I'm excited for that. Let me see a book that I'm gonna put y'all on. Revolutionary Suicide by Huey P. Newton.
It's like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. It ain't got nothing to do with entrepreneurship, but I think it just talks about if you read his experiences and what he dealt with in the time during the civil rights movement and the types of ostracizing that they did with him and isolation and things like that, I feel like it will help you recognize that whatever you're going through is not the worst. You know what I'm saying? What they experienced, the way that he was able to develop the idea for the Black Panther Party and all of that, you will understand that you were called for more than what you think you are, and you will be able to accomplish more than what you think you are. Also, I want to shout out to Spot. He said, thank you for us being here. He said, how do we raise money for this idea? Because he got a lot. I will say we will answer that in the next session.
Boom. Keep cliffhanger.
Keep the
He said
we definitely gonna answer that
episode.
In the next session to talk about, because I think that's a dope question. How do you raise money? A lot of people don't know that. So FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays. Make sure y'all cop the Play Black Wall Street, the board game. I appreciate y'all. We fresh, and I love you. Y'all be smooth.